All right. Again, adventures, and welcome to another exciting episode of Tears of the Realms. Yes, this is our crazy Cypher System powered Legend of Zelda themed RPG that's set in our kind of weird version of the Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom flavor of Hyrule. And the people below me are all people that are doing awesome, amazing, cool stuff. And luckily had enough time away from their cool stuff to do this. So that's cool.
I think so.
Announcements. Do we have...
I'm not cool. That's the announcement.
You are very cool.
Take that slander back right now.
I brag to people. I go, I have a friend, and she wrote this really cool thing about disability and how it was treated during the... And it's super awesome thingy, and she's published, and it's just cool. I have never been published. Well, I mean, I've never been published in a scientific journal. I do publish things on the DMs Guild. It's not the same.
I do have fun with other grad students in my department when I just like throw out random things and they're like, wait, what? Because I'm like, oh yeah, I was a puppeteer for 2.5 years. Do, move on to other things. Oh yeah, I've got published games out there. Do, move on to other things. It is very funny.
Is your way of deflecting just do?
Yeah.
For right now, that is a stage direction.
No, I think anytime someone
I've committed war crimes. Do.
Where were you on October 13th? Do. They're like, oh well, they were doing it.
They do.
She said do. That's an ironclad iron shut case.
I'm sorry, Chief. There's nothing I could do. She duped a dude.
I don't like that phrasing.
LA Noire a few times, and I would really love for one of the button prompts to be do.
So the trick is you have to do it. This is why I think it would be hilarious to do a noir story with Kiri in general. Because it'd all be transatlantic accents and just all of that.
As it should be.
I mean, give me enough
time.
The next time we
do one shots, the next time we do one shots, we'll do a tailored like she walked into. It'll be like a ridiculous noir.
It'll be like Mentopolis style. Just use kids on bikes and then you're good.
Like if you there'll be a rule of if you don't when you're talking about what your character is doing, you have to do it in the noir style or you get some kind of penalty.
Just randomly people be like,
less.
I knew what she was saying, but my heart told me something different.
Exactly. And it was just like, so I'd like to
So Imp in chat says in the 1920s they think it would be do, you mug.
I think you mean do, you mug.
Do. See?
So
the trouble with do is do is a trouble.
Welcome to what the stream is now.
Of ZU staff. Do we have ZU style announcements? I know one of the big announcements fairly recently was Tears of the Kingdom has been out for over 6 months now.
Oh my god.
And
what?
so
we're updated, our spoiler policy is being lifted relatively soon. And then I don't think we have anything super big at present.
ZUcast had a Halloween episode. That was cool. It's actually on YouTube too. We finally gotten the ZUcast onto YouTube, which is very nice. Yeah, isn't that cool? Isn't that crazy? Maybe the reason it has been on YouTube is because you've been a part of it. Maybe there's some force that connects you to making more difficult YouTube uploads. Who knows?
No.
Jody's being salty.
Yeah. Lex, what's it like getting the podcast on YouTube?
Can't relate.
Anyway, so cool stuff. I have some connections with the podcast people. I do know they're currently working on the next episode. It's looking to be really, really cool. So yeah, I'm happy to see it on YouTube. Fun fact, when I was helping get everything set up, I started doing research into podcasts in general. Do you know what the number one website to listen to podcasts is?
Not Spotify?
YouTube. By a pretty massive amount. I think it was something like, I think it's like the majority or just under the majority of podcast listeners listen through YouTube. And then the next highest one, I believe, is Spotify at like 27% or something like that.
I guarantee you the people who are listening to those podcasts are doing it at work.
Mhm.
Because it's a site you can reach without having to download anything.
Mm-hmm.
For a minute, I was like, who the fuck listens to Oh, that's why.
I
It's
only
us.
watch
Can't listen
my
to it on your
podcasts.
phone.
I watch podcasts on YouTube. I can't do audio only. So.
Ilea does not understand the meaning of podcast.
There are a lot of visual podcasts
There's
now.
a lot of people who like put out the visual.
We should stop
form
calling it
a few days
podcast.
after, but it's the it's the video
Vodcast
recording
is what people are
of
calling.
their audio recording. So
I mean,
yeah.
Good Mythical Morning is effectively a podcast, but it's a lot more fun to watch than it is to just listen to.
Except that they actually have podcasts and they do this format where they release the audio only. And then a few days later for Ear Biscuits, I am not promoting Good Mythical Morning. Do what you want to do. I just watch it a lot. But Ear Biscuits comes out as like video version later as well. So I need to visually see things.
I like
I'm
Rhett and
sorry.
Link. I think they're incredibly entertaining. Every so often they do things that confuse me, but I think they're unbelievably entertaining. Anyway, other announcements. I have an announcement. I can't remember. I don't think I've actually been able to announce it on here. I am a published game designer, and by that I mean I've put stuff on the DMs Guild and people have paid me for it. And recently, to take advantage of the Halloween season and the fact that I've been doing this, working on this particular piece for 2 years, I released a new class for 5th edition D&D. It's called the Blood Knight, and it's inspired by like vampires and things like that. So if you guys want kind of a creepy vampire themed class complete with 3 subclasses and a bunch of lore and a cool title page that I made myself, yeah, I thought about it, but I might just make that another subclass, you know, like how like the Wildfire Druid. Yeah,
I would enjoy
Blood
that
Night and Day.
personally in terms of writing fun stuff.
It's on the DMs Guild.
Imp
Yeah.
says you're muted, Elias.
If only or actually I can't remember. I gave out the playtest copy to a bunch of different people to get some feedback, and I can't remember who it was anymore. But only one person was able to give me feedback into the time, and that was Imp, and Imp is awesome. So
there's a deadline.
Well, I mentioned
know there
when
was a
I
deadline.
sent it out, I want to have this published before Halloween.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
I love hearing deadlines whoosh past.
That might have been why I ignored it. If that's what you said, honestly. Let's see
I
here.
almost just spat my coffee everywhere.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You did not tell me that. Check our DMs, sir.
Oh, snap.
Are you really
Elias
coming in
has
with
the
receipts? Are you?
I'm
I
wow.
remember messages, so when people are like, "Yeah, I told you," I'm like,
Do
"No,
you?"
you're not."
Anyway, so while that's happening, I'll be in Maryland next week.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry for your loss.
So if
Lex,
anyone
you
happens to go to
Shamish.
National Harbor for any reason,
Screw
come
people.
find me in
Anyway.
Maryland.
Oh.
I put a link
I
to
still wanna give you
it
such
in
a
the
hug,
chat
though.
if anyone wants to look at it.
Jody did
I
tell us in the Discord, and I did forget that according
I
to him.
believe because I thought I sent messages in multiple places for people to do the playtest stuff, and everywhere else I said, "Hey, I want to have this out by Halloween." So if I forgot it on that particular message, that was my bad.
Did you put us in the Discord?
I can't remember. I tried not to kind
I
of
don't
spam
think
it
I'm in the Discord.
on spam it
Oh,
everywhere
you
because I didn't
Oh,
want.
you did. Cringe. Yeah, I missed that entirely. I'm sorry.
I saw nothing.
I saw everything except for
I
this.
honestly, I saw it for the first time when you announced it, Jody.
So anyway, it's a cool class. It's a brand new mechanic for D&D 5th edition. I'm proud of it. And yeah. By the way, now stream is echoing according to Imp.
Imp, I know where you play D&D.
I like
Continue.
that. Dude, I know where you play D&D.
It feels like a threat, but also an invitation.
One other
I'd call it
announcement.
a
Nobody
threat.
else has anything. For the month of December, I will be doing my 11th Daily December. I've been doing this for 11 years now. One of the things, the purpose of Daily December is to stretch myself as a creator. And something I started doing a couple years ago is I just started running RPGs that I've never run before. Last year, I did a little mini campaign of Power Rangers. It was awesome. I got to play with Dale and Imp and a bunch of other people. It was great. This year, I am going to be doing a mini campaign running a system called Fabula Ultima. It's a system that's been out for a little over a year, won a bunch of ENnie awards at Gen Con this past year, including Game of the Year. And yeah, it'll be Wednesdays in the session 0 where we build our characters and the world, because that's a part of it.
In the
Will be
world.
November 20. Anything else? Anyone else doing cool stuff? So I don't feel like I'm just plugging myself.
I'm drowning in a Sound of Music process.
I'm going to Maryland next week.
The hills are.
The hills are alive with the sound of screaming, and it's just me.
I did find out that Nerdist did not manage to save all of my articles from Geek and Sundry. So
Oh, that sucks.
if you, in particular, can find some of my character sheets that aren't still saved by them, that would be great. I found out yesterday because I had to put a portfolio together of like accomplishments related to gaming and like work and stuff. Because my Harry Potter sheets had been shared by the official Dungeons and Dragons Facebook account. And those sheets don't exist on Nerdist as an article anymore.
Yeah, I feel you on the, hey, we're just going to suddenly take this content down.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you will possibly lose archival footage that you were using for portfolio shit. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
No
Luckily,
bitterness.
I will say though, for those people like them enough that they got shared on Imgur and Pinterest. So I'm like, yoink, thank
That's
you.
Huzzah.
Yeah.
I will
but
steal them back.
I need to like locate my resume that had all of my articles on it so I can actually see what's still missing. Yay.
Those of you who don't know, Ilea used to write articles for Geek and Sundry, and there was some pretty good shit.
My character sheets are great. I love them.
I think you interviewed me once for
I did.
a thing on parody D&D,
Yeah.
and that was
Guess
very
what?
fun.
That's one of the articles that was not saved.
Who'da thunk?
Yeah. But yeah, it was actually really fun. One of my students, because I let them Google search my name as part of an exercise for this class, she has started
Amazing.
playing. Yeah, she has started playing D&D recently, and she's like, and I found your character sheets. I just got very happy to
Wow,
talk about
God.
all the fandom sheets.
Oh,
Like,
no.
If you
"Oh,
modify
yeah."
the lesson to just say, look for my articles and character sheets,
I
maybe
mean,
they'll find them.
they're actually really easy to find. If you go to the image one searching my full name, you're going to see random character sheets of
No,
characters
the
that
ones
aren't
they
me.
took down.
Yeah, like
Yeah, use your
literally-
students.
don't even make it don't make it an assignment, but like make it an extra credit. If you are able to bring me one I don't have on this sheet.
Make it an assignment with a hard penalty if they fail.
Oh no.
Says that this is a communications course.
This is
You're
a
going
race.
to
There
communicate.
is one
Carrot
winner,
not
the
stick,
rest of you
Elias.
get
Carrot
Fs.
not stick.
Oh my god. No.
What do you think's holding the carrot
Very
up,
different.
Carrie?
That's the perfect response.
Oh my god. I love that.
Oh.
I'm gonna take that. That's mine now. That's going in the book.
I love that so
Elias is
much.
about to be the villain of your next novel.
The next
do you feel
Terra
about
Mirum
being a
Chronicles
murder?
book.
Pray that I never go bad.
I mean, yeah, everyone
I
thinks
mean-
I'm going to be the villain.
Same.
It's gonna be Elias.
It's either Elias or me.
Oh.
I
We
do
have-
have something
we do,
cool happening.
We do have Lex for a very limited time, and it's already
Yeah.
9:22.
Yep,
and I
Urs,
hate
I was
be that
just about to say
person,
that.
but
So
I want to play with him because I love him, and I might not be here for a little bit after because honeymoon shit.
Woo.
honeymoon.
Yay.
So I think it's time for us to return to the Tears of the Realms.
That was the crying.
Wanting to play but crying in response to starting the game.
That was the tears. The realms.
Yeah.
The realms tears.
All right.
Gosh.
Come on, Elias.
Keep
The
up with
Tear
the puns.
Walkers have left
The
the
build.
Tears Core. After a harrowing battle with Yiga clan members seemingly intent on stealing parts of the crystal that was used to create the tear walking gems, the party decided to travel to Kakariko village to have a conversation with Kess's family about the strange, familiar-looking Yiga clan member that seemed to be hunting Kess specifically. While there, they learned the unsettling fact that Kess was not the biological daughter of her parents, and that they were her aunt and uncle. And that her real mother or her biological mother, apologies, had connections to the Yiga clan, but was thought to be deceased. With that information, Kess decided that she had work to do, and the party decided to stay in Kakariko for a bit and unwind, with the Tears Core seemingly being paused for the moment. In particular, I know went exploring, discovered a library, and decided that since no accurate map of Kakariko existed in an easy to locate place, she would make one herself, and went to discuss the idea with Impa, the leader of Kakariko village.
That's a kind way to put it.
And that is where we return.
All right. When you said the Tear Walkers left the Tear Core at the beginning, I was just like, why did we quit? What did I miss?
No, they
That's
they
right.
went
You
to-
weren't here.
Oh yeah, you weren't here for that. That's right.
Yeah, so effectively,
was
Tear
wondering why there
Core's
was
no
less
more.
flirting.
You guys are all Yiga clan members.
No, okay.
Um,
So what we
the
came
Yiga
back and we're
Core.
like, when we
With our
came back and we're like,
Yiga
this is what
drops.
we found, it freaked Kess the fuck out. So Kess is like, we should take a little bit of break and pump the brakes. We were all like, maybe that's not the best idea, and but then because the Yiga clan showed up and the craziness with her mom, and now we're like in the middle of this family drama,
Yeah. And you were passed out the entire time.
Oh yes, we saved you though. We saved you
Yeah.
from burning.
Oh, like I was knocked unconscious or something?
No, you were just like
You were
all
you were
asleep,
just out.
so-
Oh.
You never woke up.
You were out and never woke up because you weren't here.
You woke up because a fire alarm was pulled and water started.
And
spraying
water.
at you.
End of statement.
So
And
I
water.
was, while unconscious, transported from
No.
the tier core.
At
to
that point, you
Kakariko.
woke up.
Okay, great.
Yeah. You slept through the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weekend.
So,
Bangladesh.
Weekends at a
I
dish.
remember fighting Adra.
Adra.
So, I know
Yes.
you have you've been at this map making for
3 hours is what we said it would take me.
yeah. So you've been at it about 3-ish hours, a little bit shy. You're a little bit impressed with yourself because
I'm very impressive.
having not done this in a little while, there's always that brief idea that pops into your head of, well, maybe I can't do this anymore.
No,
and
cartography like riding bike. It's fine.
and this is a very, very good map. You're pleased with how it looks. At this point, Aki is kind of headbutting your cheek, and it seems that he's gotten kind of bored of just sitting and staying indoors. What would you like to do?
Well, since we're ready, before I like when he does that, I go like, look, I put something in for you, just very quietly, and I point to she points to this little there's an extra building that does not exist that has been added in the
Mhm.
same vein as a paper town. It's
Mhm.
called Aki's Closets of Magical Wonders.
Bro.
So that's how she's basically signed this. She's put a little fake, small, negligible building on it and dedicated it to Aki.
Aki is
like-
thrilled.
We are friends. We are best of friends. We are family. And that's what I do for you. And I would never tell you that is not the word I would use, because that is the word I would use. Because I love you. Anyway, we've been here too long. We should go.
So while she was gone for about 3 hours, Dilly, Adesh, and Maddo, you guys would have seen Ino kind of leave. That happened last session, and then she kind of just disappears for a while.
I was seen with very large tubes of paper.
Yes.
That was my last sighting.
The last time you saw her, she was heading towards Impa's place with very large paper. So
She's
what do
got
you
a lot
guys
of paper going that way. Huh.
That
she's
will make
fine.
a really big paper airplane.
That would. Now I want to get paper so I can make a paper airplane.
I bet she knows how to make a
Oh.
wicked paper airplane.
I
Oh
would
my God, she
suggest
probably does.
that a couple of these characters are going to spend their time making paper airplanes.
Sterling, you guys have 3 hours to kill. If you want to spend the 3 hours designing the most epic paper airplanes ever, it's a completely valid choice.
I roll for paper airplane.
I would also like to roll
no,
for paper airplane.
Before I do that, I think one of the things I wanted to do was just kind of walk around the town, get an idea of just like the people, the merch, like what they have in their shops. I know this isn't kind of where like the chic is kind of based, but like see if I recognize or see if I can find like Serge or like what am I call like confidants or anything like that. Walking
So,
around.
with how Kakariko, after everything that happened in Realms of the Wild and Sheikah Tech no longer being forbidden, Kakariko in and of itself has kind of become a bastion to Sheikah Tech and Sheikah Society. So a lot of the stuff that you find, like there are quite a few like little pop-up restaurant style things that specialize in very specific Sheikah Sheikah food and things like that. There are quite a few different shops that are basically run by, and so they will have like little custom made things. Like some of them are like little toy shops, some of them are attempting to be a little bit more practical designs, like, hey, bring in your farm tools and I will upgrade them and stuff like that, with varying degrees of success. They're inspired by Kess, they're not Kess, so they have a learning curve. So that's what you see the most here, is just a lot of people experimenting effectively with new technology and trying to find ways to integrate this new culture and this new technology into the world as a whole. So it is very uniquely Kakariko, because this stuff just really hasn't spread far beyond that, even with Sheik.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I spent some time looking around, looking and seeing like I find like a random accordion somewhere. I'm like, play it. This feels very weird. I wonder if Pierre could teach me how to use this, and then puts it down and then keeps walking.
I love the
Okay.
phrase, I find a random accordion somewhere.
Accordions, very Sheikah.
Are you looking
For sale. Accordions never used.
Are you looking for an instrument shop, Meadow?
No.
Oh, you just like to pick up
Accordions.
instruments off
Yeah.
the ground. Okay.
I will say-
Listen, it's free real estate sometimes.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Don't think about it so hard.
But
Don't
why
worry
about
wouldn't
it.
you pick up the instrument from the ground? Because it can get harmed if it's on the ground. It shouldn't be on the ground in the first place.
There you go. There you go. Thank you, Dilly. Thank you.
I will say Sheikah music tends to use a lot more woodwinds.
Oh,
Accordions are traditionally much more prevalent in
Rito society for sure.
Rito society. Yeah.
Yeah.
Society.
There's a well-known Rito who came through this village.
Yeah.
Did
Who
all
played
of
the
Me.
accordion.
Did all of the heroes come here with Kess or just Kess?
I believe so. Or would we know that?
No, it was just because Kess teleported you guys here, and it was just you guys. What you guys are aware of right now is the rest of the Heroes of the River Realms have gone off because Arel is missing. After the attack, no one's been able to locate her. So Aruna, Pierre, and Zulta headed off to go search for her.
Okay. Well. Your plan was to just fuddle with paper.
Yeah. The intrusive thoughts are winning this morning.
Also, don't
here
know
for it.
what that means.
You know what that means.
Do I?
Yeah.
Is it
Oh,
something that I
actually-
know about but don't know the definition of a term of, and therefore don't actually know what I'm doing sometimes?
Honestly, probably. I actually have one more thing I want to do.
Sure.
This is set in like the Tears of the Kingdom kind of area, right?
Yes. We use
So
the
in Tears
same-
of the Kingdom, there are some fun little like slopey things.
Tears
I
of
wanna-
the Kingdom
I wanna
is
half-pipe
100
something.
years away.
Oh,
So
is there something that I can attempt to half pipe?
Basically, it's a terraforming thing. Like, has the actual natural ground changed much between? He wants the hills.
technically, time period wise, we're not even up to Breath of the Wild, because Breath of the Wild is like 70 years away.
Yes. But they are
Got it.
asking about the shape of the ground if there are hills.
I mean, yeah, there. I mean, Kakariko is built in between a bunch of hills. Like the entire purpose.
Cool.
built
I want to go up to a hillside,
Okay.
take a shield out, make some notes of, all right, we're gonna try doing some half pipe, some little
think
tricks
about it,
here.
all of Kakariko. is a
Do you say that to Mato?
yeah.
You see Mato's eyes like widen like dinner plates as the thought of, I could half pipe the whole town, and he's gone.
Okay,
So Dilly is going to follow Motto with a bunch of paper because they want to make paper airplanes and see if they can beat Motto down.
Oh hell yeah, let's go! Yo, let's go!
Motto will then
sprinting.
be like, okay, now on this next one, we have to throw it as we're surfing down the hill. Go.
Yeah. And
it's a
like
two-prong race.
Yeah. And like but one of the things that he's looking for is he's going to be looking at like how the terrain is not too much different from what he's done at Hateno.
Mhm.
However, he wants to focus on just the pure maneuverability, because I believe the Kakariko area is a little bit more wooden and more foresty to a degree than Hateno?
Yeah.
Question mark?
And because it has been built up relatively recently, there's also where the quote unquote half pipe is. There's also more buildings and things like that than you would have been dealing with Hateno, because Hateno in and of itself.
Maneuverability is
Yeah.
a thing.
Mhm.
So yes, that will be the game plan.
Absolutely. So over the next few hours, you two, Dilly, you are able to prototype quite a few different, not only prototype quite a few different paper airplanes, but due to your proclivity to throwing weapons in general, you also start discovering better delivery methods and things that make them easier to throw. You start weighting the planes and things like that so that they're easier for you to throw, and you start doing trick shots and other things like that to make the planes. You even at one point start wondering, I wonder if I could get my planes to work in my bracer like my knives.
Yeah, not gonna lie. First thought is you can cut stuff with paper if you make it right. You can make shivs out of paper if you do it right.
If you throw paper hard enough, it's gonna
that,
cut.
Elias.
Yeah, Elias went, excuse me?
I want that at a shirt. You can make shivs out of paper if you do it right.
Anything can cut things if you're hard, if you try
or
hard
on a
enough.
mug, maybe, just so that like you just nod to people and then you just
A mug would be
shivs out of
good
paper.
because it's like an uncaffeinated message of just like, I haven't finished my coffee yet, and that's what they
Yeah,
read.
right. I know, exactly.
I don't drink caffeine.
That explains a lot.
So
it makes me sleepy.
as all this is happening, I know as you, unless Adesh, did you have anything specifically you wanted to do, or are you enjoying just watching the race?
I'll watch it for a little bit, but I'm just kind of meandering Kakariko, looking at old haunts. I see a girl named Tika and walk the opposite direction. Don't want to deal with that.
Wow.
Note to self: Adesh has enemies in Kakariko.
I don't know if enemy is the exact right word.
Then I happen
More
upon-
like X's.
and then
I
hap-
mean that is the quick retreat from a broken heart you don't want to deal with. That's like
and then I happen upon I know, I guess.
Okay. So I know as you are coming out, you hear some commotion, and suddenly you have to kind of stop yourself as a very fast flying paper airplane just goes right past you. And then a few moments later, you hear Madao coming down a mountain as he kind of glides and shifts around the various buildings and people that seem to keep getting in his way. And he eventually stops right in front of you.
Oh, hey,
Hello.
you were there for a long time, so we decided to take advantage of the scenery and do some surfing
A plane
some-
flies past.
and fly some hip airplanes. It's been fun.
Yeah, they used a lot.
Wanna
of
join us?
paper.
No.
No, I think it was just use the same paper. I feel like.
You can only fold the piece of paper so many times before it loses its integrity in terms of making paper airplanes if we're folding it in different ways. So we would need many pieces of paper, unfortunately.
Ah, never mind. So, what have you been up to?
Yeah, where'd you go?
Oh, they had an inaccurate map of the town, so I fixed it for them.
Oh,
You just
are they happy about it?
did that? Like, did they pay you? Like, what?
Oh yes, really, really elderly lady gave me lots of coin. She just like reaches in and goes like, "Look,
Did she now? Huh.
I have a bunch of shiny things that apparently is important to people here. That's exciting."
Are you talking about the rupees in your hand?
Yes,
Do you
they're
know
really
that they're
pretty. I might
called-
make them into a necklace.
Okay, don't do that.
Okay. Don't do that.
Are
Wait,
you-
hold on. Pause. Were you about to ask? Are you aware what rupees are? Hello?
I was going to ask
In a
what-
Zelda campaign?
The concept of money. Are you familiar with this?
Yes. You take shiny things that have no actual resource value, and you treat them like they are food and very important. It's hilarious. It's probably my favorite thing that you do down here.
Huh.
I'm having a great time.
I'm having a great time.
I'm having fun.
Well,
It's a banana, Michael. How much could it cost?
Cost $10. Hey, have some money. Go see a Star Wars.
As you guys are having this conversation, you suddenly hear a relatively not really loud as in yelling, but loud as in very well projected voice going, "Okay, if you're not a waiter, can you please direct me to someone who is?"
Zolta's back.
And as you all look, you see a very familiar Zora, seemingly trying to grow as a person.
Seemingly.
Damn.
Wow.
we don't know.
Well, you guys
Oh,
can't be sure that's
wow.
what she's trying to do. So you
No,
can
no.
only.
See, I admire that Zolta's faith in every person she meets is that they are capable of being waiter. It's not easy job.
No,
And
it really isn't.
I just like to think that she has lots of faith in people that they
She
could
thinks
aspire
you
to
have a
that
lot of
they don't.
patience for people. You have a lot of patience with dealing with people. Yeah.
So
That's-
as Zulta is having this conversation, and the teenager that she's speaking with goes, like, are you looking for food, or like why would a waiter just be in the middle of the town? And she sits there for a moment. Valid point. Yes, I'm looking for food. And he kind of points her over towards, well, there's the end. She's like, oh, I've been there. And then past it, there's little like stalls where you can get, oh, that sounds very good. And they all have their own wait staff. Yeah.
Tell her
Wonderful.
yes.
I'm concerned about where this is about to go.
And as she starts walking, she kind of sees you out of the corner of the eye. She goes, oh, I found you. And
You're looking for us.
Zulta walks over.
and I know, just kind of, we are not food. We should run.
Yeah, I haven't been a waiter in a long time. So I'm sorry.
But she was looking for food and then said, "Oh, I found you," and just
I'm
very
like-
quietly to Adesh in a somewhat concerned tone. She
I
just,
don't
"You're
think
not
she
food.
thinks that
We should
we're
run."
food. I think she
I'm-
thinks
I-
we're- Well, she knows who we are.
look at me like, do I look like chicken? Like what?
Look,
I mean, I know
what
I'm
I
like-
heard, and it was very clear. Like, I understand that there are things I don't understand, but I understood that.
So she comes over. It's like,
Same.
hi,
Hey,
let's go get something to eat because I'm famished and we need to talk.
Okay.
Did
Well-
your wife find you?
Well, kind of. We had a very brief conversation and she's dealing with things and
Oh,
Haruna
for the
and
love of
Pierre
God.
keep looking for Arel and they're looking in the wrong places and I figured
you
it would
told
just
them?
be easier. Of course I have. However, Aruna has this systematic thing that he wants to do. It's like, well, we can't know that she's not here unless we look here first. And so they're doing their own thing, and I have a better idea. And you all just seemed, well, actually, I was hoping I could talk to Zariah because for whatever reason, that girl is very good at finding her Auntie Rel.
wait, where is Soraya?
Um,
Lost
seen her
my
lately?
daughter?
No, we were all around.
she's
We're just-
around
Do not
somewhere.
admit to losing one of her children.
I mean, to be fair,
It's
we
not.
are
We didn't lose
meant to
it. She's
keep
got
her.
her. Yeah, we would not. Yeah. Also, she can handle herself.
Yeah. She
Well, of
could-
course she can.
can
She's
handle
my daughter,
herself.
but
you
I
can't-
know.
You can't lose something you don't have in the first place. We never had her.
Absolutely.
That feels like a different conversation. I'm sure she's
Frankly.
around.
well, let's go get some food, preferably not at the inn, and then we can find
Sorry,
Zariah.
do you have something against the food in the inn?
Food in the inn? No. People in the inn? Possibly.
No,
Really?
the people in the inn have something.
It's
What
the food
people?
storage in the end that's the problem. Just not wanting to be stored with sacks of potatoes again. Um,
Listen, that was her choice.
that was not her choice.
It was.
Was it?
It was not.
She stayed there
So-
the night out of stubbornness.
So
that's
Zulta
fair, that's right.
does kind of an about face and starts going towards the food stalls. Not really waiting for you guys.
Did you guys just eat?
Yeah, I had fish.
I don't-
I guess that was
don't
3 hours
remem-
ago. But
Yeah.
That was 3 hours ago.
Oh, did we eat?
I could eat.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
When Kess was having
has
a
something to tell us,
conversation
so.
with her parents, she the rest of you guys went across the street to get something to eat while they discussed things.
Mm.
So eventually you guys are able Zariah has just been kind of hanging out with her grandparents. And so as you guys kind of go past, Zariah joins you guys with the newly repaired door that Zariah helped with.
Your great aunt, great uncle.
And after Zulta gets a little bit of these kind of hot steamed buns with this like spicy meat mixture inside them, she goes, "Oh, much better. Now, we need to find Arel."
Yeah. Okay. Did she just disappear? Like, what happened to her?
Well,
I truly don't remember what happened of why we can't, of where she went.
according to Kess, she was at the Tears Core, and then the attack happened, and then she wasn't there anymore. And Kess is worried, not quite as worried now that she has other things to worry about, but she's worried, and I can't really blame her because, yeah, Arel disappears every so often, but generally in situations where you need her, she's there.
Do you think she was kidnapped? Because she can slip out of almost any situation.
See, I don't think. I mean, I dealt with so few of those Yiga clan members. By the time that I was involved, Aruda and Kess especially had taken care of most of them. But they didn't seem that incredibly formidable to me. And Arel is not the kind of person that would be captured willingly.
What do you think happened?
I don't know. But Zariah, you've always had a really good connection with your Auntie Rel. Do you know anywhere she might have gone? Or do you have because you always seem to be able to get in contact with her whenever you wanted. So do you have like a special way that you guys get in contact? And Zariah quite silently, for some bizarre reason that no one can explain, but expressive enough that she gets the gist, mentions that, yeah, normally she has a way to contact Auntie Rel, but right now she doesn't think she's able to do that. Damn it. Well, that kind of ruined my plan. Do you guys have any ideas about
I mean, she's
how to
from
find
here, right? Like we could.
I mean,
look here,
yeah,
ask
her
family.
her uncle runs the inn there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He didn't always, but there was an encounter, a completely legitimate and understandable encounter many years ago that just kind of inspired him to go into the food service industry. And I think anyone seeing the result and how popular it has become would most definitely think that initial encounter would be a good thing for everyone involved.
Aino leans over to Adesh because he's still the closest one to her and just very quietly says, she bullied him into owning it.
Yep.
What? Really?
I lean in on the other side and go, yeah, that's kind of the story I've heard. It's a good thing. It's a good
very
restaurant.
Well documented that the
Yeah.
entire ownership papers. That's how it happened. It's
I remember
actually an official record.
it is. But-
Jody, get out of my head.
I'd like to point out that
I've done a lot of work trying to learn these characters so I could portray them as NPCs.
I was
It's-
literally thinking those like things. Like it was such a good thing that Zolta did this.
Community service, really.
I'm the good guy in this story.
I used to be an actor at one point. It's nice when
I-
those skills come back.
I used to be a venture, and then I took an arrow in the knee.
I appreciate it.
I
Because
used to be an actor, and then I took a script to the knee, and it's never the same again.
And got paper cuts and had a bad role. Anyway,
Actually, if you get those, like the old musical scripts that they used to get from MTI, were big, thick things. Take one of
don't
those
tell
to
me
and
about
that'll
big,
hurt.
thick things while I'm in the middle of Sound of Music with a 250-page score. That's not even. I'm gonna rant too much.
I told you the original Sound
Tell
of
me next
Music VHS was 2 VHS tapes.
Talk to me
Even
about it next week
Titanic.
when I'm not freaking out and stressed and frustrated because, oh God, am I mad at Concord Theatricals? Anyway.
Sorry, I'm just
So-
stuck on big and thick things.
Zulta again turns to you as like,
Nice.
so what ideas do you all have?
Ask
'Cause
her
we need to find
family,
her,
see-
and Aruna and Pierre are far too methodical right now.
Can ask her family, see if they know anything. Otherwise, like, I don't know. Like, most of our interactions have been at the tier core. We could look around there, I guess, and some of them.
You
more
could
hard-to-reach
storm Yiga
players.
clan base if that's what you think she is. Where?
Do we know where the Liga clan base even is?
could
Well, they
explore
used to
that.
have a hideout in the Gerudo Desert, but after everything that happened with the realms and that, we may or may not have been instrumental in dissolving that particular place.
Ah,
Jody.
Yes?
I'm giving you that very for reasons that I will not say publicly. Is there a
course.
possibility I might be able to recall where they are or their last known location since they were moved.
The information you would be aware of would technically be out of date slightly.
Okay.
But you would be aware of more locations than the public is aware of. So the main base, you have no idea where their main base is after that's been destroyed. But you know where a bunch of other bases are that weren't really made public.
Okay.
I mean, we could try to attack.
I mean,
it.
have you tried any of the smaller bases?
I'm sorry, what?
Well, yeah, they just don't have one. I mean, they're
Well, yes, of course.
they're
but
like
everyone-
assassins and spies. It would be the stupidest thing to just be one location. They're kind of everywhere.
There's probably one in here somewhere in this
Is
village.
there?
We should probably
in-
try to.
in Kakariko specifically, because of the kind of intense fear of Sheikah in general around there, they gave Kakariko a relatively wide berth. Well, they didn't give it a wide berth. Any that got close enough would have been convinced aggressively to no longer be there. But within half a day's journey, I would say there's probably like 2 different ones in opposite directions of that you are aware of.
So there's probably one here. So if
I
we
mean,
can
not
figure out
in
a
it,
plan-
but if you go about she like lists off like a mileage east or west, you will find one.
Sorry, do you just know where Yiga bases are?
I mean, not just where Yiga bases are. I know lots of things. But some people don't want to hear that and they just tell you to shut up.
So what I was implying was that there's probably a spy or an agent somewhere in this village that we could try to weed out and interrogate. But if you think literally storming a castle is a better idea because we know
No,
exactly
they're much
where it
smaller
is.
than castles, Adish. They're like
It's a metaphor.
boroughs, really.
I know. Are you're familiar with the concept of money? You're familiar with the concept of metaphors?
I mean, I'm familiar with the concept. I just think it's stupid.
Oh, right. Okay, sure. That Rex.
Okay, sure. That
think
tracks.
that blindly going into a Giga base might also be stupid unless their numbers
I was
are...
not suggesting we blindly go in. I was saying, have you checked that they are like near? I mean, it's not just one location. They are everywhere.
I'm not
I mean,
suggesting we blindly go in. Our eyes would be open.
And I'm perfectly like, I don't even need to see. I can sense their life force. And then just by the time they get close enough, they're generally just husks anyway.
Yeah, we know Zolta.
Can you sense
Yeah,
specific
yeah,
life
we are aware.
forces?
Uh,
Like if you were like, I don't know, within certain amount of location, could you be like, I sense Aurel's life forces in there. You might not need to even go inside.
I've been working on that.
Kind of.
How's it
Results
been going?
are
How?
mixed.
For
Ah.
10 years.
Another thing I just naturally assumed would happen with Zolta is she would continue to develop those powers, whether or not she was able to use them.
I would highly suggest Zolta would want to use those powers to locate different life forces because she had so many children.
Yeah.
Let's
Thus
say
far,
the teenager she was talking to earlier is younger than some of her kids.
I love the idea of them like, asleep in bed, Zolta half awake and being able to specifically call out to the child downstairs and go, get out of the kitchen, go to bed.
I mean, that, but also some toddlers learn how to unlock front doors and can be found down the street.
That's true.
So, yeah.
I will say, the attempts that she's made thus far, for most people, she can't differentiate life signs beyond like certain people may just have larger little life signs, whether they're a particularly powerful person or just a larger person, like a child has a smaller life sign than an adult. However, because of the accident that gave Aurel her abilities, her life force is distinctly unique. And so that is one person. And Zulta is able to explain this to you guys as well. If she could get close enough that she could sense Zulta's life force, more likely than not, she'd be able to tell it was, or not Zulta, Arel's life force. More likely than not, she'd be able to tell Arel apart from other Giga clan members and things like that.
All right.
I
well,
believe that Arel would have read into the fact that Zulta can identify her by energy. And Zulta would not be pleased with what Arel reads into that.
Possibly. Well,
I guess
unless
we
you
could
have
try
better
that,
ideas, I mean,
but I mean, we could just ask her family first. They're just right here. Rule that out, and then use your life force radar on the nearest micro base.
I mean, if there was some way you could go and maybe track her through Shadow Realm, you could see if she traveled through there.
Yeah, but we'd need a rel for that, right? Like that's the whole thing, right?
There is a long silence. Aino kind of side glances at Soraya and then back to Adesh and goes, "Yeah, I suppose you are right."
Yeah. So
Soraya just doesn't even look at you, just keeps looking like straight ahead, unblinking.
So we
Wow.
And if
we're,
somebody
we're,
had
we're at
that
the mercy
option,
of traveling by foot, or if Kess decides to show up and teleport us again, you know, that works too. But it sounds like you know of bases that aren't too far away, so at the very least we could maybe glean information, even if we fail.
what do you
depending on the
mean
numbers.
we?
We? Like all of us together?
I mean, I was under the impression that we were on a break. And our services were
so
not
sorry.
I know. I meant to do it that way. We are on a break.
It's giving.
Pivot!
Who
I
are we
mean,
on
Hey,
a break
you know what?
from?
No one told me that life was going to be this way.
I dropped my phone in order to do that, so thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome, chat.
Oh God! R.I.P. Matthew Perry. Bringing it down. Who are we on a break from? I know.
the Tears Corps. We were being temporarily let go, yeah?
I think just operations were halting. I don't think it was personal against us. Salta, was it personal against us?
No, Kess is Kess, and she's dealing with things, and
Okay,
she's
but
very
maybe
used to just like moving forward very quickly, and then when things stop, they also stop very quickly. She's a very quick person.
Billy's
don't
gonna
understand
mutter
what the
under
big deal is.
her breath so Zolta can't hear. I think we should have just gone with the kidnapping plan in the first place.
We
Well-
don't know anything about Arel's whereabouts, right?
We know that
not
Arel's
yet.
Like we're
office
not
was
hiding anything
locked.
from Zolta. Okay.
No, what you guys do know is that Arel's office was clean, which was a huge red flag. And throughout the entire time that you guys are fighting the Giga clan, you saw Aruna, you saw Pierre, you never saw Zulta because she got there relatively late. And then obviously you saw Kess, but you never saw Arel anywhere during the combat.
She was in the
Have-
meeting, right?
You tried using
She was at the meeting.
any sort of like scent tracking, like finding her last known location. Did she even leave? Like, did she leave the Tears Corps via Shadow, or did she do it on foot? If she was kidnapped, obviously she would not have done it via Shadow.
Well,
So I'm
I
going to
guess
take that
we-
as a no. That has not been done. So maybe we should do that.
we could. We generally don't use scent tracking for Arel because as soon as she starts shadow stepping, it becomes pointless. But you make a valid point, and I guess we must have just disregarded that from habit more than anything else.
Do you have any good trackers in case she did go by foot?
I
guess you don't have anyone right now.
Well, we have. I mean, there's dogs. Like we have pets at the Tears Corps, and I mean, we've never used them as like tracking hounds, but we probably
for
could.
love
Okay.
of all that is pretty. Eki, shall we help them? They are very sad and pathetic.
Aki just kind of gets up on your shoulder and kind of perches there like Spider-Man-esque, just kind of looking at everyone, kind of looks at you, nuzzles you for a second, and just kind of looks like he's holding court.
All right, Eki has decided to take pity on your sad investigation, and we will help you.
Okay. I guess we need to head back to the Tears Core, and you see her take out a device that you guys also have one. Yes?
Sorry, I just remembered. Have we ever seen Zolta with like a 3-headed lizard on her shoulder?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where's Larry, Jerry, Terry? And Gary?
As a key kind of hops up and starts holding court, you guys suddenly hear kind of a rasping sound, and slowly
it's
but
so
surely,
old at this point.
slowly but surely, well, it's
One
a
of them's
kind
on a ventilator.
Little oxygen.
The 3 heads, by the way, are Larry, Gary, and Jerry. So
Okay.
This 3-headed, basically looking like a miniature Gleeok, kind of climbs up on Zulta's shoulder. She says, "Hello, Larry, Gary, and Jerry, right?
yes.
Hello, Larry, Gary, and Jerry." And you see him notice a key. And he suddenly kind of puffs up his chest and tries to kind of stand there, but he's larger and not quite the same shape as a key. And so as soon as he gets to the point where he kind of looks like he's holding court, he starts to fall. And Zulta just kind of steadies him. That's okay.
Doesn't look like a Gleeok to me. Or anyone else?
Yeah.
Way back to Tear School?
All right. And so she takes out the communication device that you guys have one now as well.
Oh,
And you see her activate and go, Cass, thinking I have to count now. 6 to return to the Tears Core. And suddenly you guys start feeling the familiar experience of the teleportation take effect. The world gets very, very bright.
wait, she could
and
do that
suddenly-
remotely, and then it evaporate.
You're gonna do that remote.
And we're gone.
And as you get there and finish saying remotely,
Oatly?
Zulta's like, "Oh yes, yeah." She probably about 4 or 5 years after everything was over, she got really obsessed with this new teleportation tech and just started going nuts with it. The amount of times she asked me how attached I was to certain limbs when we were testing things.
Turn to Zerai really quick. I'm like, your mom has so much power.
Soraya just looks at you and nods.
Okay.
And then she
No
whispers
further
back
comment.
both of them.
where we start
All
in
right.
the room?
So I must. Yeah. Where did we end up when we went back to Tear School?
There's a central point where all the teleportations happen. It's
Okay.
just like a giant kind of stone plate.
We're at the fast
Okay.
travel point.
Yeah, you're at the fast travel point. So it's in the center of the kind of outdoor training section of it. Like,
Okay.
so Zulta goes, well, probably we should go to her office. That would make
Yeah.
sense, right?
I know. Like the moment they've arrived, I know has already started to walk, and she's just like, "All right, this is how it is."
I
done."
say we follow the fox.
Yeah, sounds about right. And so you all head to Arel's still remarkably clean office. and Aki starts kind of going around. And the first thing you notice, I know, about Aki is the fact that Aki's done scent tracking before. Foxes have remarkably good senses of smell. Aki looks really confused as he gets into the room, and you'll see him go one direction, then immediately kind of turn on himself and start going another direction, then immediately turn again. And he just kind of comes back to you and gives you this look that you get the idea that he's saying, which one?
Oh, so she's split in multiple directions, huh?
No, it seems that there's multiple smells here. And he doesn't know which one he's supposed to be tracking.
Does someone have object that definitely, like, this is specifically a Rel scent would be on this and not anyone else? That's why I'm avoiding the couch, because, you know, I am aware of her proclivity.
We miss you, Chex.
We really do. I hope things are awesome today.
So
I don't want to hear any questions or comments. And I pull out a piece of Rel's clothing and give it to Aki.
Aino gives you a look that says she doesn't need to fucking say shit, and goes, "Thank you," and like holds it down to Aki. All right, we need this one specifically.
So you see Aki,
and then she also points to Adesh and goes, "Oh, and to make sure you sort out you're not picking up his, because he's been carrying it, so it's going to be on there too."
So Aki kind of goes over to Adesh and kind of smells him a little bit, kind of gives him that look of like, ah.
Have you ever been judged by a fox? Because it just happened. Or not even like, not judged. Have you ever gotten like the finger guns from a fox? Because that probably just happened. Like, oh, you dog. When the fox calls you the dog.
And then you see at this point, it's shocking to everyone except for Aino. Aki goes nuts. You see him just kind of running, and he'll like jump off a wall over here, and he's going. You watch him actually get enough speed to actually run up the wall and get to the ceiling, and starts kind of jumping on a few of the fixtures up there, just kind of going insane. And then eventually he goes to a window, and just kind of headbutts the window a little bit, and then looks back at
Aino walks over and just opens the window for him.
And the window doesn't open.
Ooh. What is on the other side of window?
Can we see through it?
It's a window.
Okay.
And Zulta just goes over and she's like, it's just, wait a minute. And you guys can see the window has been fused. Something has actually fused the metal of the window frame to the frame.
Is it still just normal glass though?
Yeah, I mean, other than, you know, it has panes.
Aino reaches over, grabs like the nearest hard object, and just goes.
Yeah, you have no problem.
And then like
Zulta
clears...
just kind of looks at you with this look of admiration.
Clears off like the bottom, so there's nothing like poking out, so that Aki can continue to sniff.
And Aki just looks at you, and despite the fact that the rest of you do not know
Dilly's got an idea. I want to hear Dilly's idea.
No, this is an Ilea. I was literally thinking if I was still Zulta, I would just smash in the window.
Oh no.
So, despite the fact that the rest of you cannot speak to Aki in the same way that Aino can, you all almost hear audibly Aki just go, "Thank you," and then jumps out the window.
Aino follows.
Dilly will also follow.
Okay, I'm going to look out the window, poke my head out, and see where I might be jumping, and if everyone else is dead.
Dilly is absolutely doing acrobatics.
I think we're still on the first floor.
I
we
don't
didn't go
care.
upstairs.
The jump out the window is literally like a dive. out. into
Her
a tuck and roll.
office is one floor up, but there's tons of stuff outside the office. Like there's trees and trellises and things like that. That getting out of it. Many times, Arel has used her. To be perfectly honest, Arel uses her window more than her.
Climbed up this trellis to have a nighttime liaison.
Billy is not aware of this conversation at all.
This conversation isn't happening. That was an out of character joke.
Billy has chosen to
I know,
ignore
went
why
out the window.
Adesh might have some of Arel's clothes.
I asked everyone to ignore the fact.
And
No,
Billy,
you said no comments.
Billy didn't understand why Adesh said that.
See,
and
the better
no, no,
question is
no.
which piece of clothing did Adesh have?
I was gonna let Chax figure that out when she gets back.
Sure.
Because he's a gentleman.
I need a drink.
It's her hoodie. Definitely her hoodie. So yeah, as you guys keep going, again, I know you are kind of used to dealing with a key and just kind of how
We're very used. We are like, say, brainwave.
but everyone else, like a key almost looks possessed at this point, will make these like random jumps and things like that, and eventually a key just stops about 30 feet away from the wall, and a key just is looking around, and I know you would recognize this as
Scent going cold.
Yeah.
When I see a key
So
stop,
it is
I'm going to double
probable
back, take the
that
stairs,
some
go outside.
sort of plane change, whether into Shadow Realm or elsewhere, happened here. If Scent continued on in this realm, a key would be able to find.
and then suddenly you watch as a
Because
key
he is best boy in universe. Yes, he is.
and a key just kind of crouches down really low and then jumps 30 feet and lands on the wall, and is aware of the and seems to have caught the scent again, but realizes that you are far enough away that if he continues going, he will lose you.
Oh,
So just kind of looks at
see,
you.
I told you. If it was still here, he would find. Let's go.
Okay. Sorry.
Just kidding out there.
Stairs were a little long.
What?
And Zulta kind of stops everyone. So wait a minute. It stopped there and then started again on the wall.
I mean, does she get very jumpy? Or maybe she's, what is it called? The stepping in the shadows.
Well, yes, but that's kind of my point. I was operating on the assumption that she was doing this unwillingly, but if she's shadow stepping,
So you
it has to
think
be intentional.
she was forced to clean her office, fuse the window, and then was
Ultimate ego
kidnapped?
villain.
Yeah. Lock the door, clean the office.
You
Just
will
so I am
clean.
clear, you are that is what you are operating.
You
under.
watch
That
as
is the-
Zulta just has like a 404 error for a second there. And then she goes,
XP sound.
you make an extremely valid point.
But also, what
I know
else would
beams and
get-
goes, I usually do.
Well, hold on.
Ba-da-ba.
But what else would cause Arel to clean their office other than being forced to?
Leaving. Whatever you talked
sending
about.
message.
Whatever you talked about in that super secret meeting of yours seemed to shake a couple of you up. Would anything that anyone said in there cause Arel to just pack up and leave without saying a word?
Well, I mean, she wasn't particularly fond of the idea of the Tears Core shutting down.
Relatable.
I feel she cleaned up space either to hide something or more likely to communicate something is not quite right.
That's a lot of work to communicate.
Ooh.
Usual out of character behavior is a sign historically and also in many fictions of communicating in a way that only people who know person who has gone missing would be able to pick up.
Well, then we have a slight problem. We have a scent we can follow, or we can go back and search her room to see if something was obscured. But I don't
How
think we
about
can do
you all
both.
go look at room? Well, there are many of us. We can absolutely do both. And since I am only one who understands the key, I can go follow a friend, and I will report back, or I will
Yes.
die.
I think
Well,
it
that's
absolutely
my
makes
other
the
point.
most
I don't
sense.
think it would be advantageous for us to send you off alone. You should bring someone with
I mean, I wouldn't be.
I
Alone. I would be
volunteer
with a
as
key.
tribute.
Oh, and Dilly.
I really like that. It's like, oh, and Dilly.
I would not be alone. I would be with a key.
Yeah, I'm
Really?
not gonna lie. I don't even know how to scale a wall like that. So
I mean, I
Alright.
could try using one of my like shields and get up there, but
I know, like, is about to like be like, oh, is this the part where we get to like high five because she's seen high fives before because she knows that both Dilly and her are very skilled at scaling random shit. It's like twinsies. I have always wanted to do that.
what are you doing with? Okay, that was.
And Dilly follows the high five by then pulling out some daggers.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow you, Zolta.
Zulta
Nato, where you going?
looks just
quiet.
admirably at Dilly. I think we can be friends. And he goes, okay, you three with me. And they start heading back to the room to search around.
Oh no, Dilly's gonna have accidentally called Zolta mom at some point.
Zariah will love it or hate it.
At the you and I can be friends. Ino is reminded of something, and then like as they're like following a key, just turns a little to Dilly and goes, "By the way, totally random, not related to any current emotional inner turmoil that I might have. How would you describe our relationship? What word would you use?"
I'd go with friend. Slightly mysterious, kind of really powerful friend.
All right, friend with question mark. You know what? It is a weird theme that is happening, but I think I like it better the way you put it.
Okay.
So starting off with I know
We'll make shirts.
Dilly. Scaling a wall is not something either of you two have a problem doing. And then following a key
Spider-Man.
on the other hand, despite being very familiar with a key, for whatever reason, a key is more energetic in this than he has been in previous things. And so you guys actually do start having a hard time keeping up with him because he is booking it.
So occasionally calling for it and going, hold up.
Mm-hmm. And as soon as you say that, you'll watch as a key kind of looks at you and gives this kind of, come on.
I don't have as quick a legs as you do, friend.
Let's put one foot.
And he looks at his legs and then he looks at your legs. And even at one point, he kind of goes up and he kind of just puts his legs next to yours.
No, I know they are longer, but you are much faster. And you're closer to the ground, so you are able to push off of it faster.
He also has more legs.
I understand. Oh, and you have more legs than I do. I only have 2. You have 4.
And Aki's just like, good point. And continues going. And every so often, again, Aki will stop and obviously lose the scent. But understanding now that shadow stepping is a thing, you watch him climb up trees, you'll watch him do these, and it'll take about 5 to 10 minutes each time, but he'll eventually pick it up until you guys get to a place that I know as you're doing this, you're kind of mapping in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going here, we're going here. And you start realizing that you are generally heading towards one of the hidden Yiga clan bases. That to your knowledge, nobody outside of the Yiga clan knows of its existence. Like this is one of the least known bases. Like not even the whole Yiga clan knows this one. But then once you get within probably about,
Because I talk to the forest animals and the birds, Elias.
there are
Lily is
100% reasons
oblivious.
why she knows things that she shouldn't.
Yes.
Dilly is continuing to sing, just put one foot in front of the other to themselves.
As they start getting closer, like how close are we getting?
Within a
Before
few
it's-
miles, a key stops as if he's lost the scent and starts looking. And in the place that you guys are specifically, there are no trees or anything to shadow step to or anything. The scent just stops, and a key spends close to 20 minutes making wider and wider circles, and eventually just comes back and kind of gives you this look of,
No, it's all right, Aki. I think you did very good. You did very good, and I am confused, but fairly certain I know where she might have been going.
he starts to nuzzle your pockets looking for a treat.
Oh, yes, of course, friend, of course. She reaches down and I believe foxes eat. Yeah. She always has a few like berries on hand because they're
I believe they're omnivorous.
they are. And that's one of the things you can carry in like a pouch without it getting gross. Like since I don't think she probably carries too much jerky around every day.
He goes to town with it. He's just very, very happy. He lies down for a bit because you can see he's panting a little bit from exerting himself over a pretty long distance.
Yeah, he gets the belly scritches, and when we're ready to turn back, he will be carried because he does not need to do any more running. But to the others.
While this is going on, and this whole trip takes the better part of about hour and a half, 2 hours.
Okay.
While this is all going on, Adesh, Mato, and Zulta, and Zariah all go back to Arel's office.
So we're looking for something in a room of nothing.
That's very specific. Thank you.
No, it was a question, a query.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Because I don't know.
I love you so much, Lex.
Glad you do.
Oh, baby.
So it's like picked clean, or is like the room fully empty?
It's not picked clean. It's meticulously organized.
Which is unusual for Arel.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the room itself, there's a couch that some of you may or may not be more familiar with than others. There is a desk. There are bookshelves built into the walls all over. However, unlike Kessa's room, where the bookshelves are filled with weird things like books, Arel tends to use her bookshelf to display various trophies from accomplishments that she's had, and other things like that. So there's like knickknacks and a bunch of other things there. And every so often you'll see a book or two. But generally what happens is her desk is almost always covered in a bunch of paperwork, half of which she reads, half of which she couldn't care less about. And a lot of times there will be plates from like the meal she had the night before and other stuff. And there's not, like, all of her papers are stacked very, very neatly. There is an ingoing and outgoing box that none of you have ever seen before. It's possible it used to exist. It existed there before, but it was always covered by stuff. And then she does have a kind of journal thing that she keeps track of stuff in, and that is sitting on the table in the very center with a quill and an inkwell next to it.
Can I go over it to it? Does it look like it is like recently used, or?
Sure, going over to it, it looks pristine. And if you attempt to open it, all the pages are blank.
Well, the pages in this notebook are blank. Looks pretty pristine.
Her journal is blank.
Shows. I like open it and show. Yeah, there's nothing there.
If you guys want to kind of investigate it further, you could make a power check.
I was just looking at some of my abilities.
So that was a thought. My other intrusive thought was, is there a possibility that there's something in this room that opens up like a secret passageway somewhere that like maybe this is like a weird decoy, but like she's hiding somewhere else in the area or something?
Theoretically possible. If you want to try and look for secret passages, that would again be a power check.
Do we want to divide and conquer this one? You do one, I do the other.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna attempt to cast to use my magic trick ability on the journal, which will normally just like, you know, change its appearance, like change the color of the leather or something. But I'm gonna try to blend it a little bit with my optical shift ability to see if like there's something on the pages that you can't normally see, but is hidden in some way, and I'm just going to try to magic it to show.
I'll give you an asset for the roll. We're going to call this a difficulty, normally difficulty 5. Your asset brings it down to a difficulty 4. Excuse me, I'm really sorry.
Okay. Let's do difficulty 3 there. I rolled an 8. It's 1 under.
So, as you are kind of focusing on this, and you're using your tricks and your shift ability on it, you start to realize that there is something there, but whatever it is encoded, I guess, is the best way to describe it. You know that something's there, but for whatever reason, you're having a difficult time figuring out how to get it to appear the way that you want. So it's going to take you extra time. It'll take you the better part of about like 20 minutes to actually fully assess this thing out. But you're certain that there's something in the book.
Sure.
While that's going on, Adash.
Yes.
Not Adash. I'm sorry, Mada.
Me. What's the difficulty? Would it still be a difficulty 5?
To find the secret room, it's going to be a difficulty 3.
Okay. Let's see if I can roll higher than a 9. I can. 17.
Frick yeah, go Lex.
So sorry about that.
Listen, I have bad rolls. Let me have this.
So no, I was for having to deal with my phone stuff is what I was apologizing for.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Phone obfuscated successfully.
All right. So searching around the room, having experience in retail, you get very good at knowing where things will fit and how to put certain things in certain places so that unless you know where they are, people won't find them. With that knowledge, kind of going around and looking for places that, oh, that could definitely be used as a way to kind of obfuscate something or that, you're able to go through the room relatively quickly trying to find a secret room. And you do find a few kind of false panels. You notice none of them have anything in them, though. And you don't find any full-blown secret passages or anything like that, but there's quite a few. You find quite a few hidey holes. But you notice like 100% of the hidey holes are completely empty.
Is there any sign of rushing to put things in height and like and make them hidden, or like they were like accessed recently to get stuff out and then hastily put back in?
I'll say with a 17, you can notice on a couple of them there are some scratch marks near them that made the hidey holes easier to discover, and anyone attempting to use these as hiding spots would never have left those scratch marks there, because it's too easy a giveaway, or anyone competent, and obviously Arel is competent. So you get the idea that at least a couple of these, whatever was in there, was taken out very quickly.
So I found a couple like false panels that look like are like hiding spots for things, but a couple of them have like scratches, which is odd because that would mean that they whatever was in here was taken out quickly, and that doesn't sound like Arel either.
Well, it's situational. Wait, you didn't open that one, did you?
Which one?
The one you're standing at. The one that.
I mean, I did, but it wasn't there. That was there before.
Great. Anyway,
Nothing's in any of
journal.
them.
Yeah. Oh,
oh, there is?
What?
What? Wait, you go first.
I'm gonna keep working on this journal. Something's funky about it.
I'm gonna go up and like look over his shoulder.
So you watch as Adesh is obviously using some magic on the journal, and you watch as shadows start to kind of creep out of the journal and start obscuring pages and the things like that. And again, it took you probably about the same amount of time, maybe about 5 minutes less. So this is the last 5 minutes that Adesh is messing with it, and you're watching him. You can't really understand all of it because magic is not really your forte, but you can watch him kind of deftly maneuver around the shadows and everything. And eventually you can see that there does seem to be a message written there. However, as you actually read the message, it basically, it's very, very light indentations, as if something had been written on something on top of the journal, and the weight of the writing kind of bled through and left tiny little marks. But looking at it, it doesn't look like it was accidental. It looks like someone intentionally did this. None of it makes sense. It's a lot of gibberish. Like, they're real words and real phrases, but they don't make any sense. Like, there'll be bits of food mentioned, and then a couple colors and other things like that, and it's nonsense to you.
This is either some kind of code or utter and complete nonsense, but it looks like it was written very intentionally. Zolta, does any of this mean anything to you?
I know she's not technically there. It actually maybe also remember that Zoraya's there with you guys.
I'm very aware that Zoraya is there.
Okay.
So Zolta looks it over
first because Zolta's known her for 10 years.
That's fair. There's some shadow bullshit going on, and they both are with the shadow.
I'm also cognizant of the fact that Zoraya knows her mom is standing right next to her.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So Zolta looks it over and she goes, "Oh, yes, I know exactly what this means. It means that Arel's being annoying again."
No.
Do you know something more specific than that, or
I don't
do you just
know.
Really
She does things, a lot of things. Half of the time, I don't even listen to it anymore. It's easier that way.
No.
So you don't know what this means?
Mom. And Zoraya gets up. Maybe because Lottie is really close with her. Maybe Lottie might know something about this, because she does spend a lot of time with her, things like that. Maybe if you want to go get Lottie, I'll look it over and see if I can notice anything. Okay.
That's true.
I'll
There
be
is food
back.
listed here, but a little bit of a stretch.
Good point. Yes. And so
I love Soraya's secret agent ways.
Zulta
Chief
heads
Shadow.
off, and Soraya just takes the book from you and starts looking it over. Okay. What I can tell here.
Just gonna close the door behind us after a few minutes, slowly.
So you see this, and she starts pointing at those. Those stink. They're very smelly foods. And so something stinks. And then this phrase here, and she kind of goes through this very weird word association style game. Eventually goes, I think what she's trying to say is there's a spy inside of the Tears Core, and she went off to find them.
We have important information that'll help
She
with that.
went outside the Tier Core to find the spy in the Tier Core?
Well, if members of the Tier Core are on mission and maybe haven't heard,
No,
or they're doing something, I don't know who else is out.
I'm thinking the spy, their goal was to get the Yiga clan here and get the tear walking gems, and when everything went down, the spy left with the rest of the Yiga clan, and so she's trying to, at least from what I gather here, I think she's trying to figure out who the spy is by following the Yiga clan.
Okay.
Again, it's not an exact science of a code. It's a lot of inference. And
Well, it sounds like you know what she's trying to say here, so that's more than anything.
we
else.
may or may not have used it to set up. Anyway,
How do we explain us figuring this out to your mom?
good question. I'm certain you're incredibly intelligent, and we'll figure out a way to do it.
Okay.
How much time has passed?
Is anyone here a Yiga spy? By the way?
I
No.
appreciate Adesh's just very like, is anyone here a Yiga spy?
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't be for a number of reasons. Most, the very least, is that the uniforms suck and they can't be sleeveless.
Is
That
anyone
was a
here
spy?
unknowingly a spy?
They're really, really skin tight.
Yeah, and they will, and they're still like fully sleeved.
Yeah.
Motto doesn't wear anything but like sleeveless things.
Well, you know.
Motto is the
So
person who
much.
gets a shirt and takes off the sleeves.
Yeah, he would.
I mean, I have massive sleeves on me right now. Do you have a problem with the way I dress?
No, I wouldn't do it. Is the thing.
Well, as long as you're not the Yiga. Oh, that was you clearing yourself. I understand.
I'm clearing myself because I would never. I don't like sleeves.
Okay, so if I ever see a sleeveless Yiga, I know it's you.
Yeah,
Okay, great.
it won't happen. But yes,
I hope not.
If we
Yeah.
ever have to go undercover, cuts them off to be like,
Just Yiga with jacked arms walking around.
I would. Above the table, if that happens, I would.
oh my gosh, I want
And
us
he-
to have that like that pretending to be stormtrooper moment, but they're just Yiga clan.
There would be nothing funnier to me.
Aren't you a little
short
jacked
for
to be a Yiga clan?
Don't ask questions.
Anyway, have
Jackie,
Dilly and I are Dilly and I we're still awake.
Yeah,
correct?
like I said, it took you a couple hours to get there,
Okay.
and because you're not doing crazy zigzaggies and having to find scent trails, it'll take you about half an hour to get back.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, while all this is going on, eventually Zulta comes back, and she brings Lottie, and Lottie kind of looks at it and then kind of glances at Zariah, realizing and going, that's a good. And basically Lottie just thinks out loud and kind of watches Zariah and kind of gleans everything out of that. So by Zulta's understanding,
oh my god,
Lottie has figured out everything.
I repeat the same questions, the same clarifications that I did when Zulta was not in the room, ending in, so is anyone here, Yiga?
And Lottie just looks around. Sugar,
we have to ask.
I love that.
And she places a hand on your shoulder and goes,
I don't like sleeves.
No, honey, I'm not a Yiga.
Okay. Zulta, that would be a really big brain move from you, but
Zulta doesn't even acknowledge the question.
Yeah, we'll circle back.
We'll put a pin in it.
Well, maybe I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way, but did it seem like
I know this is gonna bite me in the ass?
Aino knew where Yiga bases were? Like, I trust her, but also, like, how does she know that?
Doesn't she make maps?
I think we should just ask her about it when she gets back.
I mean, we can, but, like, doesn't she make maps? Isn't her part of her thing is she likes making, like, she spent 3 hours in Kakariko updating their map.
Yeah, she has extremely hyper-focused hobbies.
Correct.
However, that doesn't necessarily mean that she's in cahoots with them.
Okay, if you're making
she could have just come across
of Hyrule, are you gonna mark every secret spot of every not known thing?
I know one.
Yeah, if she knew about it. So yeah. I'm asking, how does she know about it, Madam?
I'm so sad. I know because she would run. Because I think
because she would run in. Because she would like go in and she'd go, "Oh, it's a cave. I like cave. I'm gonna go explore."
I love this because you're arguing with the himbo.
But why?
But the himbo's right.
And I think I would win it, which is wild to say just about me in general.
It's just because it's getting a little bit late. This conversation continues for the next roughly about hour. So it does take you guys about 30 to 45 minutes. So by the time I know Aki and Dilly come back, they meet you.
We just walk into the conversation. And
can I burn an intrusion token to still have the conversation going as Ido is walking into the door so they hear me being
Oh yes, as I walk in, I need to know what both of the arguments side of the argument is.
All I'm saying is that going into that many random caves that happen to be Yiga hideouts seems highly improbable, and you would just know every single Yiga hideout in all of Hyrule.
I know what, because I know is curious. I know likes to investigate things. I know is good at what they do.
Thank you.
What?
Where'd you come from?
As Aino and Dilly are walking in, she understands the implication of Adesh's statement. She briefly looks a little hurt, and then Mado's statement, and she just looks very touched. Thank you.
Wait, now say something nice about me, and Dilly goes back outside the room.
Dilly is very pretty person and good at the acrobatics.
Very flexible.
Ooh. Don't get any crazy ideas.
I'm not touching that.
I think you made Dilly blush. I can feel heat from the hallway.
Anyway, I'm sorry you walked in on that, but we essentially figured out that Arel thinks there was probably a Yiga spy or mole in the tier core somewhere. And so it seems like she might have gone off to find them somewhere outside of the tier core, which doesn't make sense to me.
Sense.
So then I just started
that makes
asking,
perfect sense for what we just found.
I just started asking everyone if they were Yiga.
But as far as
did anyone say yes?
No.
We went And
I
then
don't
at
like
some point you were
sleeves.
like, let's turn around because I know where they were going. So does it make sense?
Yes, yes. I need map. I need map. Where is map? Is there
Appropriately
map?
enough, Aurel doesn't keep a map in her quarters. Kess, however, has quite a few of them.
All right, come,
Um,
quick.
Okay.
And so
take-
she's like
gonna take
very
the-
excited because she's got the last puzzle piece that you need.
Take the journal with us.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I
Goes
thought we
into
did.
Kess's room, finds a map of the area, and like, I need pulls out charcoal and like very like she makes a compass, like the oh shoot, is it called just the compass? It's the measuring
Yeah,
of
compass,
this,
the thing that
but
yeah.
she
Measuring
does it
compass.
with her, she like does this and like almost as if she just knows what the exact measurement should be. Like she looks at like, okay, what are the dimensions of this map? Okay. Adjusts her fingertips and then walks them in the direction of where she knows they need to be and then marks it and goes, there. I think she went there.
Great. Why?
Oh, that's where another one of those Yiga bases is.
Right. Okay. So this is why you walked in on the conversation we were
I
having.
just love that. Right. Okay.
Because if Aurel thought there was a mole, a Yiga mole, my question is, how do you know where all the Yiga bases are?
Because I pay attention at SGs.
I told you.
To
Wait,
I'm just
every cave in
saying.
Hyrule simultaneously all at once?
Yes.
No, I read.
So I was singing near a Yiga base.
No.
Yigas,
We
a
were
summary.
several miles off. I promise. If we got too
Uh,
close, I would have warned you to sing quieter. No,
Okay,
the
okay.
scent died off about a mile and a half, 2 miles from this location, which makes me, and since she was shadow stepping, makes me think she probably needed to hide, or but that does seem to be the logical, based on what you have found, explanation of where she was headed. Now, here's the thing: this particular base is not super well known to even at least by last researches is not super well known even within I don't know, are they, do you call a clan a community, or I
know.
don't what
I don't think you're helping Adesh.
No, I'm helping because I'm giving information. It's very important. First of all, it is possible like there's something even more crazy going on because of this added information. And did Aurel know about it beforehand? Was she following them there? Like, I mean, she's a lady of many secrets and knowledge as well, and I respect that very much. Why is everyone staring at me?
I just want to clarify. If you tell me you're not Yiga, I will believe you.
Oh,
But I
I'm
did
not
want to
Yiga.
ask both of you, since you were not in the room earlier, are you
Still
Yiga Spot?
not Yiga.
And you know, if you're Yiga, you legally have to tell us.
That's not true, Zolta.
I mean that No,
Sorry, Imp said that in chat.
It
And it's
was
so
from
funny.
Imp.
It would be Zolta that would say it though.
And if you're Yiga, you have legally you have to tell us, or it's entrapment.
that's
Okay,
not the
that's
definition
fine,
of the
but
word entrapment. But
I
no,
I
am
mean, it's not
Yiga.
me. I don't like sleeves.
really want to know where these books are that you
If
read
I
about
was
Hyrule
Yiga,
Secrets.
why
Oh,
would I
I
have
can't tell
spent
you that.
all this time traveling around with my family in a circus?
That is why you have such beautiful, brilliantly colored clothing. I love it.
Did I not tell you that?
You've been somewhat evasive, but I pick up context
Oh.
clues because I listen. But
Oh,
I just
yeah.
figured you weren't wanting to talk about your experience, and that, my friend, is okay.
Well, I mean, most of the time it was people wanting to talk about family, and that's very different from talking about circus. We can separate
very
those
fair.
in the
Oh,
head.
no,
but
no,
it was
that's
a
very
family
fair.
circus, and I mean,
And then
No.
with this with this reminder, Aino turns to Zolta and goes, "You would actually do very well to tell your wife there is difference between family and blood on that same note. It might make her feel better." I mean, if I got upset over just like being abandoned, I mean, at least it sounds like she was left somewhere where she was not going to die.
I
wait,
think
does that mean I get to choose my mom?
we're
Yes.
gonna.
What? I'm
And Dex
sorry.
is just his head is just exploding at this point, going. "Hmm."
What? She said she wasn't Yiga. Jesus.
That's not where I was going, but
Oh.
as this conversation continues going on, unfortunately, that is where we are going to end it for today. As always, if you missed any of the episode or any of the episodes that we've had, we do upload all of them here right on the Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/Zelda Universe TV. We have all of them right here for you to watch for your viewing pleasure. We also do upload them to our YouTube channels, youtube.com/Zelda Universe TV, right?
It might be /C/Zelda Universe TV. I'm not really sure the URL structure of YouTube these days. But
You look
that's
it up
our
on
handle.
YouTube. Zelda Universe TV. There's a
If you just look
like,
up
realm, you will
Zelda
find
Universe,
us.
it will show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, you can watch this stuff
Google
there. You
and
can
it
watch
will
this
show.
stuff here. Yeah, it's gonna be all. For
I'll
us
copy
today.
it in chat.
And we will see all of you guys next time. All right. Bye-bye.
Wait, where is it? Where is it? Where is it?